All right, we're going to get started with a quick warm up to get flow through the body, some stretch and movement through the lower back, and opening up through the chest just to kind of get some blood flow to the body. A great way to start your day. So, we're going to start supine, which means lying on your back. So, you can go ahead and come on down. If you're on a bed, you can reach out back towards the frame or try to find some way to bring the arms out to a T and then out to a 90-degree angle with those arms. But I'm going to now grip. Right now, I happen to be on my reformer, so I'm going to grab below the reformers. From there, you're going to start with the feet nice and wide, about the width of your elbows as they reach out. And then you're going to sway your right knee over towards your left foot, getting a stretch through that right hip, maybe even that right chest, and then over to the other side. Good. Just flowing with the breath, and inhale, exhale, come up and over to the other side. Nice. Just starting to get some flow through the body, waking it up. We're going to add on to this after this next round. So rotating over to the right, inhale, exhale, lift all the way up and over to the other side. Good. So this should start to wake up the lower body and upper body. From there, you're going to bring the feet all the way stacked together, gluing them together, gluing the knees together. Inhale, exhale, you're going to rotate those knees over towards the left, keeping the feet stacked. So notice that my feet aren't staggered. They're right on top of each other. And then I'm really pushing down through this right shoulder to rotate through the left side because I'm feeling the stretch through the mid-lower back and a little bit through the pec, the right chest right now. Inhale, exhale, lift up and over to the other side. And you'll notice that I'm looking the other direction just to get even more rotation through my spine. So it's good with the left, with the knees floating over towards the right. You're looking towards the left and pushing through that left shoulder blade. Inhale, exhale. Let's go to the other side. You can hold these as long as you like and do as many as you like. It's a great way to start your day. Good, breathing into it. So now that the knees are to the left, you're looking over to the right. Inhale, exhale, up and over to the other side. Last time each side here. So the knees are over to the right and I'm looking over to the left. Inhale, exhale, come up. All right. So from here, you can roll up a hand towel and bring it underneath your tailbone. Another option is to bring your hands underneath your pelvis. And the idea behind this is it's going to take the tension out of the lower back. So I'm going to take this hand out and show you when I bring the hand underneath the pelvis, it's going to push the lower back down. I'm just going to use one of my hand towels here, Gilmore Girls themed, of course, and then I'm going to roll it up. You just want like a little bit of support, because my hands are not even going to be as big as that. You bring the rolled part just underneath the tailbones, the end of your spine, so that when that towel comes in, it pushes the lower back down, so there's no space here now. What that does is it engages my abdominal muscles, releases the lower back, okay? So we're gonna work with the towel, but you can also bring the hands underneath. From there, we're gonna add on. So you're gonna inhale, make sure you feel nice and prepared and comfortable, and you can always make that towel wider or more narrow. And you're imprinting the spine in addition to what the towel or the hands are providing for you, pushing through the bottom rib cage, scooping that belly in. My core is engaged. From here, we're going to go into tabletop taps. So I'm going to lift my right leg up to tabletop. My right knee is directly over my right heel. My right foot is directly in line with my right knee. We're going to stay on this side as we lower down and lift. And notice I'm taking it really nice and slow, right? Now the key here is as that leg moves away from your torso, you're going to keep pushing down through the lower back. If this is easy, it's because you're probably lifting your lower back a little bit. It should be nice and connected no matter what strength level you're at. So you may have to take your hands and give a physical tap of your abdominal, your tummy area, just to get those muscles activated. That can sometimes send a little neurosynapse from the brain to the belly, to the muscle to engage. Okay, so let's do 2 more like that, tapping down. And I'm scooping my belly as I tap down and slowly lifting. One more time. Down and lift. Good. Place that foot back down and we'll switch to the other side, taking it nice and slow. So imprinting the spine, pushing the belly, the lower back into the mat and the belly in towards the spine, up towards the skull. You're going to tabletop toe that left toe down and lift. Now, you want to start with a smaller range of motion and work yourself up to pressing deeper and deeper, because it's not about how low you go with the foot. It's about how low you go while still staying to the front of the core, the abdominals. Okay, so I'm really pushing that lower back down. The abdominals should intensify as that leg comes down, right? Because at tabletop, I'm not feeling as much, but as that leg is lowering, my abs really start to engage. And then you're working through the hip to lower and lift. And notice you're taking just as much time on the way down as on the way up. Good. Now to advance this, both legs would stay at tabletop, and this time we'll alternate. You'll tabletop right leg down, scooping through the core, and slowly lift. Good. And then left leg down, and slowly lift. Good. And you only want to go as low as your lower back doesn't lift and you don't feel the pressure through your lower back. Okay, because you want to keep the work through the front of the core, the abdominals. Good. Let's do this 4 more times. Last 4, scooping that belly, relaxing those shoulders, and slowly lift. Notice how slow I'm taking this pace. And 3, nice and slow down. And nice and slow on the way up. Good. Last 2. Toe tap down, scooping through the core. And lifting. Last 1. Scooping through the core as you tap. And lift. Good. Hug those knees into your chest and just take a moment to relax. This might also be a good time to revisit planting those feet, either bringing them wider than your shoulders or glued all the way together and taking a nice spine rotation, removing that towel as you sway to the other side. From here, we're going to advance it, and I'm going to give you 2 options. We're going to start with the build. So the left foot will stay down, and we're going to take our right leg straight up towards the sky. So I'm extending the leg all the way up, and if you want to stay in parallel, you can. If not, you can externally rotate that leg. So I've turned out my leg, and now I'm going to lower the leg down with control, only as low as my lower back doesn't lift, and then a nice and slow lift, reaching through those toes. Good. 1 more like that. Now you can advance with me, or you can stay with this modification, right? So from there, you're going to bring that left leg to tabletop, okay? If you're ready to advance. You take that right leg down to a 45-degree angle, only as low as the lower back doesn't lift. And then nice and slow lift. It's a lot more challenging with that leg lifted. Nice and slow lower, reaching through those toes, scooping through the core, and a nice and slow lift. Good. Let's do that 4 more times. Last 4. Scooping through the core. And lift. And 3. Now, if it gets tired or if it gets too much in your hip, you can always externally rotate, but you can always bring that foot down. Okay. Last 2. And lift. Got a little bit of a shake going on in there. And last 1. Nice and slow lift. Good. Bring that foot down. We'll plant it. We'll extend that left leg straight up towards the sky and immediately go to the other side with a nice and slow lower. Only as low as the lower back is still pressing down and the pelvis does not move. And nice and slow lift. Good. 2 more like that, and then I'll give you the option to add on that tabletop advancement. And nice and slow lift. Good. And 1 more time. Remember, you could be in parallel, or you can turn the foot out to come out of the hip just a little bit if you're still strengthening through the part of your core and your hips. So from here, let's float that right leg to tabletop if you did on that other side, and then it's a nice and slow lower. And nice and slow lift. Good. Let's do that 6 more times. Nice and slow lower. I want to see energy coming through the toes. And nice and slow lift. Good. 1 more time. Nice and slow lower. I think it's one more time, actually. One more time. Nice and slow lower. And nice and slow lift. Good. Hug those knees into your chest, grabbing just below the kneecaps, just kind of giving a nice hug of those knees into your chest. You can start to circle the knees in a circle. Good. Releasing the lower back, which hopefully you didn't feel too much or at all. Okay. And then from there, you can plant those feet. And then we're going to move to a little bit of glute work and then stretch.